It's a great moment we're having again because we're going to be talking about Africa. We're going to look at evolution and how the youths are behaving in our continent. We are having celebrations every day. We are having the COVID-19. We are having elections going around the continent. So what is going to finally come out? It is the African power, the African spirit that we have to put in front of everybody today and say that Africa is one of the best. We have the people around us and are going to be our guests today. And you know that we're going to talk about all what touches culture. As usual, we're going to have the dancing because dancing is part of us. We're going to have the authors. We're going to know about which book you have to read because today is the moment that you put the seed in your head so that tomorrow you see the harvest in front of you. We're going to be having some young people who have been walking around and decided to bring something to change what is happening actually in the world. COVID-19, everybody is talking about it. But what have you done? That is what we are going to discover. What have they done? With us today we have Bate, who is seated there. He's going to tell us more about himself. And we have Sama. And we have Miklem, who is going to be coming up also. They all came today on AFRIKULTURES because we need to tell the world that the youth in Africa are doing great things. So I'm going to start right now. I think I'll take you will tell us your age, you will tell us how you got into this particular domain.
All right. Hello, dear viewers. My name is Sama Chifen. I'm 16 years of age. And I got into the medical domain and the tech domain from a very young age. I had the passion for innovation, the passion for science, and the passion for making the world a better place. I started doing with the world of medicine. I always had the passion for medicine, and I saw that I could easily integrate my passion by blending it with the touch of technology.
Okay, and that's AFRIKULTURES. We told you that there are young people out there who are working. They watched our programs and they said they want to be on AFRIKULTURES, and we are doing so. So I'll get to Bate. Tell us, who are you, where are you from, how old are you?
Thank you so much, madam. My name is Bate Tamayang Allen, and I resident currently at the Silicon Mountains. That's the Faculty Division to be precise. And I am actually a postgraduate student in curriculum engineering.
Okay.
And I choose this path precisely because I am a Pan-Africanist from birth. And I support technologies in Africa, and I've always wanted to be an inventor from Africa. And I hate educational systems, especially which are not pro to invention and creativity.
Opening up for you to decide what you want. So tell us, what do you read, for example?
I read the S2 series. I'm an advanced level science student. I read the S2 series. I'm a science student, which the S2 series comprises of okay.
I'm understanding. I'm talking the books.
Yeah,
it's too much books. The guy is so concentrated. They have so much knowledge that you really need to take time when we are with them. So we'd like you today to tell us what are the books that you read. How do you read them? How do they inspire you? That's exactly where we are going to.
The books that I read, for example, I'll talk on Purpose by Miles Monroe.
Okay.
Miles Monroe in his book Purpose helps everyone, all of his readers, anyone reading that book, to find that in life is more of a dream, and in every more of a story, and in every story there's a particular touch to it, which is the particular essence of the entire story, which is a purpose in life. Realize that once you find your purpose, you realize that everything else comes smoothly, everything else is happy. You're happy with what you do. You might, once you find your purpose, realize that money is not a problem, nothing else is not a problem, because your purpose keeps you happy, and once you have happiness, everything else comes.
Sama is 16. He has found the purpose of life. So let's continue. But tell us, do you read? What do you read, and what inspires you?
I'm a voracious reader. I read books with synesis. I read books that connect to my purpose. I discovered my purpose, that's 2013. I was at Lower Seat. That's precisely in JSS Manfe. I wrote just in Lower Seat by that time. And so I became driven to purpose and success because I wanted to define what truly is success. And so some books got on my interest. You have books like those written by Pastor Tim Martin. He wrote a particular book that captured my interest, How to Write Your Own Book. And that was when I first wrote my own article and book.
That's great, because we are going to see with this element what you have to read for 2020 and make your life as good as theirs. They are in Africa. They are in Africa. They are happy to be in Africa they bring what they think can be a solution to Africa well-being. So let's watch this element and continue just after that.
Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. I met this sister. I'm going to go on record. She has a beautiful mind, very intelligent. She goes back and she analyzes the behaviors that black people had to use to survive through slavery and how those behaviors still exist in our culture today. So I'm not going to give you any spoilers on this book. Go pick it up. Readability, on a 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest, 10 being the hardest. This is about a 3 or 4 in my opinion, maybe 8th grade level, 9th grade level. That doesn't take anything away from this book. She wanted this book to be able to be read by people on all levels, from middle school all the way up. I'm in college and I love this book. Our next book, Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. This book focuses on the economic aspects of what we need to do to keep the dollar in the black community and how to rebuild Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, these places of black economic growth. He doesn't leave anything on the table. If you know me, you know I'm gonna have this on here. This is The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. I have a black book review that goes in depth about this book and why it's important, but long story short, mass incarceration. There's a silent war being waged outside your doorsteps. Millions of black men are getting thrown away in prisons. Millions of our black youth are getting hit with felonies and not being able to economically compete. What I like about this book, she quotes everything, cites everything. Our youth and our black men getting thrown away in prison is detrimental to our society. Another gem. This is The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams, and if you can tell by the title, it details the destruction of black civilization in the mother continent of Africa. So Chancellor Williams travels to Africa and does his research in depth. He's not talking about Africa in a vacuum. He's there, boots on ground. Why are we not learning about it in history books? This is your history book. This is where it's mentioned. All right. Dr. Krauss Welsing was a psychologist, a black psychologist who she went to school and she could have easily just went to psychology, made her money, and didn't have to give anything back to the black community, but she gave us this. What really goes on in the mind of a racist European, and why they feel the need to colonize Africa, why did they feel the need to enslave Africans and bring them over here, and all of their different symbols. So Cress Welsing, she's very heavy on symbols that are all around us to this day, from the Washington Monument to missiles to colors to games. She looks at it she gives it a psychological analysis that will have you on the edge of your seat. 5 recommendations of books that should be on every black person's bookshelf. All right, they're collector's items to me. I hope that when I pass away, I'm gonna give them to my children. And if you don't get the knowledge, if you're not arming yourself with this knowledge that our scholars are giving to us, then how can you teach the youth? How can you teach your children something that you don't know? It's extremely important.
It's very important because you, the parent, if you are not learned, if you don't go about to learn, what are you going to give to your kids? It's nothing else than, empty-minded, that they will grow up because you didn't give out what you needed to give out to the kids. So you have to read. It's not reading just to copy out, it's reading to understand. And if you have the youths today who are standing here and proposing something, it's because they read a lot. They went through all what has been proposed to us and have decided to create from the knowledge that they got from those books and what the teachers are giving out to them. So now tell us, how did you come that Bate and Sama and Miklen met? How did it come up?
All right, us coming as a team, we knew each other from way back, but we never actually realized each other had something in common, which was a passion to change the world in the little way which we can.
Okay.
So with Mr. Bate being a curriculum engineer, and he has worked with other young innovators, he realized our talent and realized our purpose, which was in line with his. So together we came up with a team of people where not only do we do devices like this, but we try our best to change the world in any way.
So, Mr. Bate, we are looking at you. You're getting to 24. He is 16.
Getting 23.
It's the same thing. Let's just leave the word. So let's look, how did you come together? Because sometimes we see that in Africa, most of the time, the big person will look at the other with, and how did it work out? How did you actually come together?
Actually, Cameroon is pregnant with a lot of potentials, and Africa is pregnant, and I think it's time for the pregnancy to be delivered.
Yeah.
And it has been my passion to work with students at the science domain, at the technical schools and the secondary schools, the grammar schools actually. And according to, as time unfolds, my passion actually was tilted towards innovation and towards producing something new. I've always asked myself, Cameroon imports everything to an extent that they import toothpicks, that why can't we innovate something, if not new, but something that we use? So that's why I came across these guys, because we blend our ideas and we came up with a product that is made in Cameroon, and we have a whole lot more, like plastic ties.
I'd like you to carry it while you're talking,
yeah,
so that we can see what it looks like.
Yeah, we don't just have this, which is a wireless air sanitizer. We also have plastic ties that we have worked on. We also have incubators, ex-incubators, which are really amazing, and also we have a lot of discoveries too. And this is all that Cameroon can offer, and much more that we can offer.
So if you stay with us today, you are going to see the demonstration. It's going to be done by Miklen, and we are going to see how the guys have been inspired, what they would really like to do. Tell us clearly, what is the role of this box? Okay, the role of this box is to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in open and closed-ended areas, as well as other diseases. That's why we call it COVID Plus, because it prevents not just COVID-19 from spreading, it also prevents other venereal diseases which are transported by air, because our target was the air. You know, every human being lives by air. We need air to survive. We need air to succeed. And every organism survives by air. So we discovered that if we can sanitize our hands, that is good. We can put on face mask, which is also good. But then, what are the consequences of sanitizing hands and face masks? We are not criticizing about that. We are looking at what if we go to an extent of sanitizing just the air? Because you see, when you wash your hands, when you sanitize your hands, that's an hand sanitizer actually kills the bacteria 30 minutes. It expires. Now the question is, what do you do after the 30 minutes? Means that you need to sanitize your hands 48 times in a day. And how many can do that? Now, when you sanitize your hands, do you sanitize your phones? How many of us sanitize our dresses? How many of us sanitize our shoes, our bags? Difficult. And this is what we interact one another in the society. You enter taxis here, a local man enters it, and we mingle around. You know, we are Africans. We love togetherness. Contact. Yes. And so we discovered that it is imperative for us to sanitize the air, because every person depends on air. And based on our research, we came out with this to prevent the spread of COVID-19 plus other venereal diseases which are transported by air. Okay, that is very interesting, and that's what we would like really to encourage in our continent, because we understand that the youth have so much to give out. And still looking at what they are doing, we are going to get into our Gari. It is an initiative that was brought by women in the arts domain. They decided that as we cannot go to the Garis are going to come to us. So we are going to get into the world of Gary and discover this beautiful presentation with a young lady who has been doing great things. Really, this edition, I'm so happy about it. Watch it and meet me just after. They're not moving. Sama and Bati are here with us.
J'ai eu un besoin de commencer à poser dans les photos de nu en fait. C'est vraiment un besoin qui est venu comme ça viscéral dans la quête de moi-même, dans comment est-ce que je vivais mon corps tous les jours, dans mes relations personnelles, mes relations privées, mes relations intimes avec moi-même ou avec d'autres personnes. Le carton sur lequel je dessine, les aquarelles, le papier que je prends pour faire mes dessins, c'est quelque chose, c'est un espace de liberté pour moi, un espace où je peux faire tout ce que je veux sans censure. C'est un prolongement de moi-même dans ce dessin. Dans le cadre du projet Actuel et Interférence, je vais proposer une performance qui s'appelle Let me talk about myself. Laisse-moi parler de moi-même. C'est une performance en fait qui va représenter un boudoir. L'espace du boudoir, c'est l'espace où tu es seul avec toi-même en tant que femme, où tu peux te prélasser, prendre soin de ton corps, prendre soin de ton âme en fait. Je crois qu'il est important dans l'époque où nous sommes aujourd'hui de ce que les femmes aient confiance en elles, qu'elles sachent qu'elles valent quelque chose et que cette confiance-là les pousse à entreprendre plein d'autres choses. Et il y a toujours ce moment où, entre la méditation et l'instant où tu vomis le dessin sur le carton et qu'après tu vois ce que ça donne et comment est-ce que tu l'habilles de couleurs pour que l'histoire soit vivante, qu'elle soit excitante, qu'elle soit entraînante en fait. Donc c'est vraiment un long processus et le processus le plus difficile c'est d'accoucher du dessin. Donc ce projet me donne l'opportunité de me retrouver dans une communion de travail de femmes, de rencontrer de nouvelles personnes, de nouvelles artistes et aussi de mûrir aussi mon travail en me nourrissant en fait des points de vue des autres artistes qui vont participer dans le projet.
Project that we have to encourage. We have to inspire the youths and tell to them that it is your time. It's for you now to make Africa beautiful. It's for you now to make Africa great. Because if you mess up, I'm sorry, you will lose everything. You want to be part of our program, you have the number which is coming down your screens. You just have to write to us. Please, no calling. Just make your WhatsApp and we'll understand what we have to do. And if you have something that is going to be interesting for the continent, we are going to bring you up to talk about it, like the young boys we have today, because I'm not saying men, they're boys. And it's really interesting the way they decided to work together and make things happen. So tell us, what are the difficulties that you meet actually since you're working on this project?
Okay.
All right, I would like to say some of the difficulties we made working on this project are access to resources. You know, every scientific project, or let me say, any project scientifically inclined is mostly built on the foundation of research. And not having access to good network for research has been one of the key things which has kept us down. And also, not only do we do scientific projects, but if anybody who has, some people who know about our other projects, realize that all our projects we make them in a green fashion, in a recyclable fashion, where all the things which we use are recyclable household materials.
Okay.
So that is one of the things which it looks like a little bit challenge, because many people out there, you see other innovators, they decide to just go buy the entire scientific kit from China and just buy the entire kit and assemble. But we decided to incorporate the method of using household materials, things around us, to use them for scientific purposes. Other people read them and decide as garbage. We use them and recycle them for better use.
Okay. I'd like to know, Bate, how does your family react to what you've been doing as inventors, researchers, and all the like?
Actually, I see life as a personal race. And actually, I've been receiving a lot of support from my family, especially my siblings, especially from my mother and my father. And I thank God because they sent me to school. And since I reached the level of the university, I took my destiny in my own hands and decided to focus on what I can be able to do to better off my family and as well as better off my society. So they have been all encouraging all the way, especially my mother, who have been there to push me forward, to support me, because it's a new thing in Cameroon, it's a new thing in Africa. You have a lot of hurdles, especially from even your own relatives and family members who think that this thing cannot be possible. This is the reality. You can make innovations as many as possible, but many people are obscured in thinking. They think that no, this is a white man's kind of a vision. And in Africa, it cannot be possible. And as such, they don't see the feasibility of it. And that's one of the hindrances we have been facing.
Yes, they believe that the Africans cannot be capable of creating. If you saw it, it means that the white man should have seen it before. And if the white man has not shown it, it means that you can have the vision. And that is what we are fighting against on AFRIKULTURES. We are calling on everyone to be believing in the brothers. If you think that somebody is doing something When you don't understand, why not just give a chance? Why not let the person go ahead and do what he has to do? So we on AFRIKULTURES, we think that we have to promote the youth, and that is the key. Because if we talk of a positive Africa, we have to talk about positive minds. As you see, the youths today, they are working, they are doing their best. Why not encourage them? Just coming here already is part of our participation for a change in this continent. And we're going to go right now to Cote d'Ivoire, because we have this incident which is going on, the COVID-19, and we have the modeling sector which has been greatly affected. So I had to call one of our friends, who is Camille Soko, who is based in Cote d'Ivoire, and he's leading a project which is called Abobo Fashion Art. So he's going to tell us how he has decided to work on it, because it was some months to come. He has to change it again, and we are waiting on the process to come up from the big leaders out there to tell us how things are going to be. So let's watch Camille Soko and see how he handles the COVID-19 in his world of fashion.
C'est bien comme ça que je suis, j'ai beaucoup d'expérience. J'ai un talent fou. Je me suis promené un peu en fait dans le monde entier. Les expositions, les défilés, les shootings photos. Et avec mon expertise, j'ai décidé de créer un événement. Mon événement s'appelle Abobo Fashion Art. Pourquoi Abobo Fashion Art? Abobo, c'est une grande commune ici en Côte d'Ivoire, où c'est une commune qui n'est pas dans la mode. On va décider de faire la mode là-bas. Abobo Fashion Art, le fashion c'est la mode. Et là, on va mélanger l'artiste comédien, la musique, les danses contemporaines, les tableaux. Et ça s'est passé au musée des cultures contemporaines Adama Tungara. C'est l'ancien maire d'Abobo qui nous a donné ce bel édifice. Donc, malheureusement, à cause de Covid-19, les partenaires, je vous assure que nous sommes bouleversés par cette pandémie. Et je demande à mes partenaires, d'abord je les remercie, et je demande à tous mes partenaires de rester toujours à l'écoute. L'événement va se déplacer, la date va se déplacer en date ultérieure, compte tenu de la situation. Mais, avec tout ça, nous ne sommes pas restés vains. J'ai décidé d'offrir des cache-nez à mes partenaires, comme au ministère de la Culture et de la Francophonie, comme au Office du cinéma, au Office national du cinéma, à la mairie d'Abobo, au musée même à Matungara, à la mairie de Cocody, au Covid-19, à d'autres partenaires, au grand public aussi. Je décide d'aider les gens et respecter les mesures barrières, respecter les 1 mètre, porter les cache-nez et respecter les mesures barrières. Ça fait partie de la vie. J'ai décidé aujourd'hui le jeune avoué de vous dire merci. Ma part, je fais ma part, faites vos part, je vous remercie. Et je pense que
A big kiss to you, Camille Soko. It's a great guy. You can't imagine. When you get in contact with him, you understand that life is so simple. He has dedicated his life to modeling, and he's doing it at his best. And I'm really happy because AFRIKULTURE is going to be in Abobo for this edition in Cote d'Ivoire. It's very important for us. So, Bate, I'm going to get to you. Tell us today, how do you feel as a Cameroonian with all the projects you have been working on? Do you think that you have been listened to and that you're going on the right path?
The first thing I think in destiny, or let me say the worst thing that can happen to a man is to be successful in the wrong assignment. And since I discovered my purpose in 2013 in Lower Seed, I thank God because I'm in the right footing. And a project like this, I'm grateful because since we passed through defenses at the level of government, because this project right now is about going at the National Health Committee, because it's a health issue and it's a health invention, wherein we have other different kind of inventions, but this one will follow the government procedure. And actually I thank God because some persons are coming to a light. Africans are coming to a light to understand that they are pregnant with a lot of potentials, and the potentials are not far-fetched, they are just around them. Yes, and so I feel satisfied about it. Everything that gives me success is that success is not just a measure of what you have done compared to what others have done. but the measure of what you have done compared to what you ought to have done. So at every point in my life, I rephrase and ask, what am I supposed to have done at this time? COVID-19 incident or pandemic in, let me say, in Africa that's ravaging economies. What can I do in this situation? And I think this project is one of the projects which I think it will attract government investments as time goes on.
That's very important, and that's very good. And I'll tell you, I like to listen to Bate when he's talking. You know, he gives me hope. You know, at the time we used to look at the youth, they would tell you, my life is done. I'm finished. I want to leave Cameroon. When can I have a flight? I'm going to look for all the money I have to leave the country. I want to leave Africa. This is the positive youth we need around us. We need to know that everything is available. All depends on you. And if you decide to be on the wrong path, you will stay on the wrong path. If you decide to have hell, you will have hell. It's just your mindset you have to work on. And we are proud on AFRIKULTURES to have them with us. You are there also. You think that you have something positive to give to the continent. Why not come out? Why not make the call? Why not try? It's important to try, because the moment you fail, you are the cause. Because success is after trying and failing. And they say you had success because you failed many times, but you finally did it and people understood. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into the world of music. What type of music do you like? Betty, tell me, what type of music do you like?
I love gospel music a lot.
I felt it coming. Okay, Tama, what type of music do you like?
I would say gospel.
Gospel?
Gospel and classical.
Classical, yes, you're interesting. There's nothing about Africa in it.
No, I'm saying that we have lots of African classical musicians.
Yeah.
We have people who are good trombone players. They play classical music, which are good to the ear. They play classical jazz even in Cameroon, yeah.
Okay. You see, 16, he likes jazz. That's great, man. So you understand that everything is possible. So tell us, Bati, what type, when you say gospel, you're trying to just confuse me. Who is your best, if you can talk about it?
In the light of gospel, I love worship and praise a lot. Okay. And there's this worshiper that captures my attention every time she does that. Since 2013, I've been following her, Victoria Orenze. She's a worshiper from Nigeria. Okay. I love her accents, I love her way of conducting, and I love the way that she connects. And I love the way that she enjoys what she does. And she feels satisfied doing that. She's not into fame and popularity, no. She focuses on the worship. And I think she's now elevated because of that focus.
I'm happy to have you guys today, and it shows that we are not doing a bad job for now. I think that you discovered AFRIKULTURES by watching.
Yeah, I discovered AFRIKULTURES by watching.
What do you feel about the program?
There was a statement that you made once in a program, I think that was 2 weeks ago. You said that the point of Pan-Africanism is not just about the fiscal outlook, but about the transformation of the mind. That is what captured me in this program, because I was just passing by the channels and I tuned into it. And when I saw AFRIKULTURE, the way that you spelled Africa, that's what captured my attention, because I have a vision of Africa, which is spelled with K and not C, because I think the K actually brings out the uniqueness of Africa. So the C, I think, is a dilute version of Africa, which is a cosmetic solution which was introduced by the Europeans. So I always, when I was passing by the channels, I was browsing through, I came in contact with that, and that statement alone kept me focused to the end of the program.
That's very important. You understand, you don't have to give so much physically. You can also give through the words. And recently we had a guest here who was talking about people who are doing things but who don't go to the end. People who are supposed to have been the best but who today are not really seen by everybody, is because they heard the wrong words. You have to have positive people around you. You have to believe in what you do. If you don't believe in you, nobody will believe in you. And that is what we are having today with these young guys. They believe in your project. You might look at it and not feel it maybe, but know that you have to give them a chance. And if you give somebody a chance, you're giving Africa a chance. For this edition, we are not going to have gospel music. No way. We are going to get to where we are enjoying Africa, because this is a concept where we aim at making Africa to be beautiful all over. And so you are going to watch the artists for this edition. And we are going to continue with Mika. Mika is going to come and meet us here, and he's going to show to us how the project works. Watch it out and know that you're on the right spot. It's AFRIKULTURES.
Cameroun, l'Afrique en miniature. quoi? Joanda. Je les bafoussam, ne cherche pas le frère de 5 francs. Tu veux les maminyanga, prends le bouillon en douala. Bananoa. Si tu cherches la fille à où ça va vendre les bœufs à Maroua. Kaiwalai. Avec la fille Bassa, tu vas caler à Ezekiel. Tobassi. Rendez-vous avec les Waka à la rue de la Joie. À quoi? Pour les déchets, dans les crevettes. Contre chef, la sole braisée. Bongo chobi. Chop chop. Tu dis que quoi? Tu dis même que quoi? C'est ça même. Claude Peteux. Tu dis que quoi? Tu veux ta part? Je bois le matango chez mon ami Wondo. Au village, le mari d'autrui est sucré, ayo, cola sucré. Tu t'aimes? Tu fais ton nyanga, ton caleçon fait quoi chez moi? Massa. On va manger le hachou à Bamenda et à Bafou. À Bouéa. I like a roll. Watakufu. Jama jama. Les nyondo. Les bobolos. Tu dis que quoi? Ce pays-ci, c'est comment? H, le goût de ça est Jean-Pierre ça, Louchideneni. Je m'appelle Tabancui, le shoga de la nuit. Je mange le cuit, le taro et le coquille. Aïda, Eric Bensiki, Christian Yamela, Maritala, Fantoma, Aïda, Koshwambanda, Bensiki. Vince Fecham, Badenyansa. Mange Gichana, Sebenyansa. Jamande, Yvette Nana, Monique Tonen, Colette Chadieu, Henriette Mouchongwe, Grégoire Piwele, Chinois Nyanga, Honoré Nketa, Baba Jean-Samuel Mouchongwe, Sebenyansa, Baba Victor Fonso, Sebenyansa. Tu dis que quoi? On va faire comment? Wonderful. Massa, voici le mangambe. Didi Chakoube. Yandanda, yandanda, tourne-toi, tourne-toi. Bansiki, 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 bansiki. Nayo, nayo. Prési et Jaguar Ramot. Tara. Léonard Châtelain. Ce nyang-là, Tal, Maître Fenze, Jaman Vero, Sylvain Kong, Michel Fongan, Liliane Gaboum. Taba, ton, taba, taba. Dinali, H. Macabo de Sae, Emmanuel et collègue Chadieu, ma promo.
To be celebrated. Yes, a country is celebrated by another person. You see, it makes that we feel that we have been doing the right thing all the time, and that what we have, you have to consolidate it and maintain it and make it a good one. Africa today stands because you and I are seated and believe in peace and believe in love. As long as we have that, Africa is going to be a unique one. And that's very important because we are the key to so many success stories as the one we're having here today. And we think that it's possible only if we give a chance to the youths around us We have Mikan who came up, and he's, you know, I hope you're not stressed.
No, I'm not stressed.
Mikan, I want you to talk.
I'm actually not stressed.
No, I want you to talk then. I want to hear your voice. Is that?
Yeah.
I know that the scientist guys, you're so concentrated, you're acting, and I know that you want to demonstrate. You just want to demonstrate.
Yeah,
but I would
I
like
just
to
want to
know,
demonstrate.
Miklen, do you read books?
Yeah, I do read books. My first book I read 2 years ago was Rich Dad Poor Dad
Okay.
by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay,
So,
I understood.
and that's my favorite book. So,
Why is it your favorite?
it teach me more about life and more about how to control the little you get, the wealth you have, either little or much, how to get opportunities out of where there's no opportunity.
Okay.
So I love the book. I love the writer and any other books he has written.
Okay. Now you have this box in your hand. So, what is coming out right now? Can you explain to us?
Okay, for the device. The device is actually controlled with a mobile device, an Android phone. So I will give a short rundown on how it works. So as you can see, the device actually comes with 2 fans, one here and we have another one at the other side. So
You can show it on the camera, yeah.
okay, as you can see,
That's the first device.
yes.
That's the in and out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what this device does is one of the fans soaks in the air. Yeah, this actually soaks in the air. The air passes through a vacuum, that's an empty space. The only thing blocking that vacuum is a cotton film. You have a cotton film in the middle.
Filter.
And the cotton filter, right? So when the air passes through the cotton filter, the other fan at the other side sends out the air. So this cotton filter or film is actually made up of cotton and it's been moist with alcohol. As you can see right here in the machine, we have a alcohol tank where you need to pour in alcohol, and in that alcohol tank we have a device that is capable of pumping alcohol into the cotton film or the cotton filter. So after the alcohol is spirit though, so using spirit, after the spirit is being used to moist the cotton, that soaks the cotton, wets the cotton, you can now turn on the machine. So let me just give a demonstration. I'm not going to pour in alcohol because we already have alcohol in there. I'll just give you a demonstration of how it actually works. So I'll need to turn on the device. Okay. Now connecting the device to a special application on our Android phone.
What is the name of the device you're connecting
It's
on?
a air purifier machine.
And the
or an
phone.
air sanitizer.
And on the phone, what are you?
Oh, the application we made, we call it COVID Plus.
So there's an application that you
Yeah.
have to download in your phone,
Yeah.
and now you need to provide it. We provided this box, particular box that you make.
Yeah.
So now when he has a box, the
You-
2 ends have the fan,
Yes.
and now he also has to download the device.
Yeah, you
So
need to download
it is
the
now
application.
the application which is going to help to make this box to
Yeah,
work.
yeah, you're correct.
Okay, and now you need to put the alcohol there for it to be like the filter, to help the filter get
Moist.
okay. Let's
Okay,
continue.
so after the device is actually connected, though, after connecting the device, we need to pump in alcohol into the
alcohol is
yeah.
already there. Can we see it?
The alcohol is inside the tank. We need to pour it in the alcohol into the cotton.
Okay.
So we're using our Android phone to do that. I don't know if you get the noise. That's the noise of the.
I heard it.
Yeah, that's the noise of the pumping in alcohol into our cotton filter. So after a period of time, you now need to turn off the pump. Okay, our filter has been moist. Now let's turn on the device itself. Okay, so you can see the fans actually rotating.
I can't feel air.
You know, this takes in the air.
Okay,
This
okay,
sensor.
okay. I feel it here.
Okay.
Okay.
So should in case someone with a virus talks, the person there are actually droplets in the air. So when the machine soaks in the air, it soaks in alongside the droplets. And in case the droplets are infected, the person who spewed out the droplets and infected individual from any airborne disease, those droplets will contain either bacteria or viruses. So when the machine soaks in the air, it goes alongside those air particles. So the air particles is being trapped by the cotton filter. Then the alcohol in the cotton filter actually takes care of those viruses. It kills the viruses.
I would like to understand. So
Yeah.
when you get into a hall, you put this.
Yeah, this
You're
one
sure
I
that
place in
the
the
air
hall.
in the hall has been synthesized.
Yeah.
It's going to be. It's not as you put it in the hall. It takes a little bit of time, but it doesn't take that. It don't take long to purify the air in the room. Because
So like right now where we are,
Yeah.
we close the door. We are here and we put the machine. And after maybe how many
A
minutes,
period of 5 to 10 minutes.
we know that everything in the area where we are
Yeah.
is clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the machine, after using the cotton, you need to pour in cotton. Pour in alcohol or spirit into the cotton every after 25 minutes, because cotton takes 30 minutes to stop working to evaporate. So give a 5-minute head
So
start.
like now we have our ministers who are seated in their offices.
Yeah.
Now they're obliged to have the meetings through the camera or whatsoever. But they can decide to receive people, but they use this your machine to condition their space.
yes,
And at that time they can have freely their meetings without need to wear the
Yeah, you're
mask or
correct, you're
whatsoever.
correct, yeah.
All the air has been worked upon. So
Yeah.
you just follow the measures, which are to wash your hands and make sure maybe that you have nothing infected, but the hall already is going to be purified.
Yeah.
So that if anybody around you is having the virus, it will stay on him. It will not be carried by the air into your system.
True.
Okay. And as we have the alcohol also, it means that it kills the germs somehow.
Yeah, it kills the germs and the
Yes.
viruses.
Okay, that's
So
good to know.
more to that, this cotton needs to be changed in a period of 7 days. That's a week. You need to carefully remove and change the
And the amount of alcohol that you had, you need to use is what's the amount?
The alcohol, the amount you pour into the tank doesn't matter. It's a percentage.
concentration.
The concentration of the alcohol. Yeah, in this machine we use 100% concentration of alcohol.
So it means that if I drop maybe that quantity there, it can make how long?
Depending on how often you use it.
If it's 2 hours.
If it's 2 hours, this a quantity like this will be okay.
Okay.
A quantity like this.
It's
will
not
be
much.
Okay. Yeah. A
Okay,
quantity
so
like this.
how do we do to get this? Is it already affordable? Can we use it actually? If
Yeah.
somebody calls on AFRIKULTURES and says, I would like to have that air sanitizer, how does it work?
Yeah, okay, for the air sanitizer, this is just we have just this prototype, and because of some financial issues, we are unable to create another prototype or to create more of them as quick as possible. But
So if somebody wants and
Yeah.
you give him a price, you can,
yeah, you can
he
contact
gives a
us
price
and you
you
give a price, and we
can produce it for you.
yours. Yes, and we can even customize it to other uses, like adding the solar panels to it. Should in case you're in an urban area, a rural area with no lights, or you're in a condition where you can't charge the
Yeah.
So they
device.
are also helping the charging.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the device also varies. The device has we are planning on working on the smaller scale, the handheld version, which is as portable as your phone. You can move with it alongside your taxi, your
Still
car.
to sanitize the area where you are.
Yes.
So I get into a taxi, I just put it on,
Yes,
and I'm sure that whatever is happening, nothing is going to touch
nothing
me.
is going
you. And you could there are many other versions. You could have work on the larger scale sections, because you'll not tell me somebody wants to put this in the market to purify all the air in the market. So we are working.
That's why I was talking of an
Yeah.
area
Yeah,
in
just a
particular.
yeah,
So if you have your
range.
party, you can put it up so that the
Yeah.
hall where you're going to have the party should
Yeah.
be a short
that's
place.
that's what I'm saying. There are various sizes according to how
The
environment.
area,
Yes.
yes.
And it also works not only in a closed room. It can also work in an open environment. It
Okay.
works in an open environment. The only difference between an open and a closed environment is in the room it will take shorter time to purify all the air molecules than it will do outside.
Okay, we are happy to have you guys today because AFRIKULTURES was really, really lively, knowing that there are youths who can do great things. You have understood. You call the number and take your command. What is happening? The people are complaining that they fear that the COVID is going to be all over the place. In Cameroon, we already have young people who are thinking about the future because they say that we have to live with the virus at the time. We'll have to integrate it in our lives. But we are not going to stop ourselves from sharing together. No, we are going to continue. But we have these new methods. We have the mask. We have the cleaning of the hands. But we have this one. I think it's also a big step which has been done. And it's our pride to have those kids around who are making good things and sending out a positive Africa. We know our youth most of the time they're in bars drinking or whatsoever. Really, it's so bad sometimes. But we are happy. We are having hope as we have these youths with us today. So tell us, I will get to Miklin. Miklin, tell me, do you watch movies?
Not often.
Not often as a scientist. There are movies for scientists.
Yeah, there are movies for scientists.
But you love working on your own.
Yeah, I love working on my own. What I watch most is tutorials, though. I always watch tutorials on what I love doing because I'm a student, and at the same time we try doing our own invention, so there's no laxity time for me to watch movies.
Samba, tell me, at least you watch something.
I watch movies. I most definitely watch movies.
Which movies, for example? African movies included?
Yes, I watch African movies. I watch, for example, I would like to say one of my favorite African movies of all time is The Queen of Katwe. Queen of Katwe. It's a Ugandan movie. It's a very motivational movie.
Yeah. With I get it. But today we are having a different one, but still interesting. It's a Cameroonian who is based in the US, but he has been thinking about making productions here in Cameroon. Watch this one, and I'm sure that you will enjoy what is coming next. Stay with us.
Ça me fait à quoi de faire des études pendant longtemps si je ne peux même pas manger à ma faim?
Et tu ne verses pas la recette, Narcisse?
Quand j'ai un peu d'argent que je veux venir vous donner, la moto tombe en panne et je suis obligé de partir au garage.
Mais les États-Unis sont grands, il y a plusieurs États. Il est dans quelle ville?
Aux dernières nouvelles, monsieur, il était à New York.
C'est quel même ce type comme ça? Vous récoltez les fonds pour les gens qui sont maigres? C'est votre petit frère Narcisse?
Regarde, toi, avec un benzikinel. Maman, c'est lui qui m'aide dans mes études. C'est avec lui que j'étudie ces derniers temps, maman.
Elle est tellement pure. Et quand elle me regarde, j'ai l'impression que je suis Leonardo DiCaprio.
C'est ma part. Il dit que même s'il ne m'aime pas, non, il va sortir.
Tu ne comprends pas que Narcisse te fait perdre ton temps?
Je n'en ai pas besoin, je vais me retrouver.
Ce que je voulais faire, mais qu'est-ce que tu fous?
Ok, reste avec ton Dieu.
Ah, donc je vais payer.
Ellie! Tu ne comprends pas qu'elle s'est occupée? Tu vas partir? Tu vas partir?
Okay, that was a movie which you have to watch. It's very important and very interesting. And I'd like to ask my young fellow brothers who are here, do you think that tomorrow they will make a movie about your lives?
That would be awesome. That would be super cool.
So you are thinking, it's possible, don't you think so?
It's possible.
Yeah, that they will recount, you see, everything in culture has a relation. That's what we're trying to demonstrate today. That you think maybe that you are just the scientist that you are, but tomorrow your story has to get into culture. You will have to show it in a movie, because what you're doing today is really interesting and might be motivating. I think you have been motivated by others,
yes,
and you would like to motivate others also. So tell us, Summer, you're 16 and you're already amongst the big boys. Huh? How does it go? How do you see things in future with all what you have been doing?
Well, I see things in future. Well, I would like to say I have a wild imagination, and my imagination of the future is quite unpredictable. But one thing I know for sure is, as much as I breathe, as much as I live, I always want the very next moment of my life to be inspiration to somebody, because people have been inspirational to me. That is what has brought me up to this level. I was determined, I was focused, I grew up, I had the right I got the correct brought up. I was brought up with the mentality where my mom raised me to know that it's not all about the grades, it's about what really matters. Because by God's grace, I had the mom who never flogged me for not having 20 on 20 in the examinations. But I had the mom who supported me when I was rather good at physics than good at English. So I want the future to be where the Africans incorporate the mindset that everybody has what he's good at. It's kind of like a doctor coming to hospital and giving everybody the same injection, the same prescription, not knowing what they're sick of. I think that's what happened in the classrooms today. The teachers come today and, all right, everybody study this. 20 and 20, pass the exams, 8 grades, and you have a good job somewhere in one company like that. That's the same thing. You don't know, this guy is good at physics, he's not good at English. This guy is good at history, he's not good at this. This guy can be a journalist, and this guy is good at sports, but he's not good at this. They don't incorporate your gifts. So my vision of the future is the vision of Africa, where African embrace their culture, where African embraces her gifts, where the African youths realize the fact that their gifts and their purpose is an essential for the future.
What's the name of your mom?
Chip and Celine.
I think you did a good job, because the way the guy is talking here, you can think that it's a no, it was good. It was a good job that she did, and we're just greeting your mom, and we hope that she will continue guiding you, because we need such parents. When the child is in your hands, you have to detect the talent and encourage the child, because it's from you that the child will be stronger or is going to be a failure. As long as you encourage the child and you guide him, we are going to have young guys like Sama here, we're going to have Miklen, we are going to have Bate, we are going to have all of them coming together and keeping hope. And that's what we are celebrating today. So if you have an advice today, you're looking at that camera, if you have an advice today to give to your young ones who are dreaming but have the impression that they will get nowhere, what do you say?
Well, my advice to anyone watching this and to everyone who has the aspiration and believes that they are holding them down, what I would like to tell them is, if you can see it, you can be it. A lion is not bothered by what the sheep thinks about the opinions of the sheep. If you believe you are going to be great, then don't let others mock you. I will not lie to you, I've been mocked a whole lot of times when I have ideas, when I say things in class. I would like to tell anyone out there that think big, don't let your imaginations fool you. If you cannot change the world in a big way, start with the little you can do. You can do something, just add something at home. Look for a problems. We have problems in the society, we have problems in Africa. Great leaders are readers. I would like to thank Agriculture for promoting the reading idea. Readers are leaders and leaders are readers. Read books about, like for example, you saw the books which were proposed. Read books which will help shape your future. Don't back out. Focus on what's ahead, focus on the tasks ahead and dream big.
That's it, you have to dream big, and that's what we have been telling you throughout the years. Now we are going to get into the world of discovery for this edition, and you know that particular aspect is that we look for something that happens and makes Africa to be proud. It can be the dancing, it can be the creativity of anybody or whatsoever. It's a youth like you who did it for this one, and we are really enjoying. I don't know whether it's Photoshop or whatsoever, but I love what the guy was doing. That is our discovery for this edition. saw on these images, I was so impressed. And I was telling myself, what is happening? The youths are so creative that we have to promote them. And that's what we do with our program. I'd like to call on Miklem right now to tell us if you have a word to your brothers and sisters about what they can do to make their lives better.
Okay, what I would like to say is this: if you have a dream or you have a goal in mind you're planning on achieving, first I noticed something that is a dream killer, and that's a trend. What's trends today in our society? The youth are more focused on the latest dresses, the latest accessories. So if you focus on what is trending, I can assure you that your dreams will not come to pass. So forget about trending, forget about what your friends put on, forget about what the social media shows you or tells you to do, and focus on your dreams. There's a saying, there's something I always hear people say, that what keeps you up at night, that's what you should focus on. What you always think about, that's what you focus on. So if you have something you love to achieve, focus on it. Spend a lonely time working on it. Don't spend time with friends. Spend time going out to places to try to enjoy yourself. So, and another thing is, when you focus like that, you either get help at one point. And
okay, Miklem.
Yeah.
We are going to get to Bate. We will just go fast. The time is really against us.
Yeah.
A last word to the youths out there watching you.
Oh, there's a saying that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. This is a step that we have taken from the Silicon Mountain, and we are radiating life. And our notion is not just invention, but building up a tech community in secondary schools. Our science labs they're just out of place, and we're encouraging the tech science students to rise up. And so you can be a part of us. You can support this invention. You can invest in this invention. Believe in us and trust us, because this is not just one of the inventions we have made. We have also made plastic ties, which you can invest in if you are afraid to invest in areas of herb. We have also made the incubators for eggs, which is also a very, very good project, which is coming for very, very soon.
Can
so you can support us.
Give a number for them to contact you?
Yeah.
It's true we have the number of AFRIKULTURES, but you can give out a number straight.
Okay, we are a team, and if you want to get to us at any time via WhatsApp or via message or via calls, you can get to this number 675-07-7179. I repeat again, 675-07-7179. Together we can make Cameroon better. We might not just invent new things, but we can make things that we are actually using to be new. Thank you.
Okay, now we are on AFRIKULTURES. We have ended edition for today, and it was a pleasure to know that the youths are following us and the youths are doing their best to make things happen. We hope you are going to be with us for the next edition. You have the contacts if you want to be with us, and know that AFRIKULTURES is your program. We have to sell a positive Africa. We have to be positive, and that's why we call on you to stay tuned to our programs. We're waiting for you for the next edition. Take care. Bye-bye.